Hello and welcome to another in the series of hospitality and events interviews. Today, I'm so pleased to be talking to Matt Bond, who's director of Cito Facilities. And at the moment, there's nothing more important than hygiene and cleanliness in the events industry. And Matt's going to tell us all about it. How are you doing, Matt?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm fine, thank you. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. So, obviously, you're in the cleaning business. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you do.
Well, my background is I was a soldier. Did that for 10 odd years. And when I left, there was not much with my skill set. And me and a lad I was in the army with set up as window cleaners in 2012. And in the right place, right time, we went from cleaning windows to cleaning inside offices. And about 2 years after that, I bought him out, and we transformed the business from being a cleaning company into a facilities company. And our strapline is, we look after your building so you can concentrate on your job.
Right.
So if that means the building needs cleaned, painted, any maintenance, you pay us to do that so you can concentrate and do what you do best.
Yeah. I guess in the events industry, as we've seen since the pandemic, things are going to change quite a lot in terms of how we need to keep the event space. If we're going to be able to have regular meetings, what have you found? How do you think it's going to be affected?
It's going to be some massive changes for everybody. You can see that in the next 12 months. There's going to be probably no major changes from what we are now. We're wearing masks and sanitizers and social distancing probably for another 12 months because we don't know where we're going to be with the vaccination program. But you look at what happened previously and think, well, we've had the winter vomiting virus and you've had colds and flus. Do you automatically, once we've got a vaccine for COVID, do you pull sanitizer from the walls? I'm not going to use it anymore. Do you stop people wearing masks, or do you keep it all there, keep the extra cleaning and hope that it continues and you have less sicknesses in the area in the business that you operate?
Tell us about events and what they are going to need to. What event organisers and the venues are going to need to think about with regard to keeping the venue safe.
Well, when we talk about COVID is it's an airborne virus. It's made in the throat. It comes out when you breathe and when you cough. Some people have this fascination with the surfaces that it's on, and they forget that it'll stay in the air for around 48 to 72 hours before it drops. So if you're walking around a conference centre, for argument's sake, and there's people coughing and breathing, if you've got a heavy footfall, it'll still be in the air. You need to have a better air circulation. You need to have extractors, windows open, doors open, routes in and out, one-way systems, things that where we'd normally just be free for all, which is probably good for seeing lots of different things. But in this environment, keep people safe. It's the way it's in the air that people seem to forget about. So we don't advocate fogging as such with the machines because it's expensive and very, very costly to people for manpower. We buy fogging canisters, which we can find for a customer. And you can put that in a room and set it off, and it's a bit like a flea fogger. It sends a mist into the air, and some of them do, some of them don't. The ones we do it fights the virus in the air. So any particles that are there, it'll get them as well as surfaces. And you're gonna have to see a lot more of that happening, where it isn't just the surfaces that need cleaned; it's the air, the room itself, and that's how we talk about airflow, and we talk about good movement within the building, so that if you're going one way in, one way out, and that sort of thing.
So how would it work? So would a venue be looking at having to have a company like yourselves in every day, for example, or can you sort of treat an area for a period of time and then they do the kind of interim protection? How would it work?
Well, for example, hospitality places can be reopening. So on a personal level, people coming in on a daily basis, it's very, very expensive to come and do these sort of things. We as a business recognise that it's going to be a struggle for hospitality to when they reopen is what they're going to do. So we have what we call the Cito Academy, and we offer a training to customers so that if they're doing it themselves, we will come, we will advise, we'll help them set up. And the first few days of them before they reopen, or when they've reopened, we will help them get set up so that, yes, we'd love to do it for you, but we'll help you get set up so that you can get some money in and hopefully then want to use us going forward. If you had money to burn and you wanted to use a company like ourselves, then great. And you could have it set up so that you'll come in periodically and you can do things in between. But as we all know, cleaning's not a fascinating role, and people emptying bins and things like that and doing it, they won't do it. They'll want to get in, get home and do their own thing. So it's the risk that people will take. Are they wanting to make the money, make it safer for their patrons, or make the money, or are they going to cut corners? And we can offer a consultancy to help that part of it so that we can get you reopened safely.
Absolutely. So who do you work with at the moment then, Matt? So what sorts of venues and event companies?
Well, for businesses, we work with a company called Carlisle Brass. I don't know if you've heard of them. They produce door furniture and window furniture, probably about 80% of every building in the United Kingdom.
Wow.
We look after the distribution network for Bright House.
Okay.
We provide and PPE and look after a company called Gap, which do plastic doors and windows. Their distribution centres, with various solicitors. We also help a company, and the name escapes me, but they do the Big Burn Supper in Dumfries. And that's
a national business then.
Yeah. We also do lots of small local ones, but we'll do anything for anybody if it helps them reopen and do what they need to do at the moment. So what we found is that some of the bigger companies and even some of the little companies that are in our industry are concentrating on making the big cash amounts, where not necessarily is helpful. That if you said, Matt, just come for a day and get set up, or get someone of your team to come in and show our people how to do it, that helps businesses grow. And in 12 months' time, that company might go, well, Matt, we've opened 3 more venues. Can you look after them completely? And it helps because I'm a big advocate for a licensing for cleaning. A bit like the security license, I think that cleaners should be trained properly. And especially during COVID, we find people who've been made unemployed or been put on furlough. They'll get a mop and a bucket and a cloth, and then they'll call themselves cleaners, and they'll try and undercut people, and they'll be doing things that aren't right for the industry and not helpful. So I'm a big advocate of getting a license. So that's why I'm passionate about helping businesses open, but open safely and do the right thing. Do you need to be paid? And this is an example. I know I don't want to sound horrible with people, but there was lots of people fogging hairdressers and beauty salons after they've been shut for 3 months, and they were being charged a couple of £100. Oh, we'll come in and we'll fog your beauty salon or your hair salon. Why are you doing that? The virus has been dead for 7 weeks. Why do you need to go and do it? But because people did not understand it and they were being sold something.
So what should they be doing?
Well, by all accounts, by the scientists and the webinars that we've watched and the information that comes out is that once the virus is in the air, it lands on the surfaces. If it's not been wiped up and cleaned away, within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the virus is dead anyway.
Right.
And because it's a heavy virus, and when it's a heavy particle and it's in the air, it will drop to the floor and hit surfaces. It's on a carpet, and you've hoovered the carpet or you've mopped the floor, it's gone. You won't need to fog it. Fogging, personally, is only if you have a confirmed case in that building.
Right.
And you need it done. And for example, some of our customers, we've had such and such has got COVID, and we are a 24/7 operation. Can you come in, get us ready to reopen, and we'll come in and we'll put the canisters in the room, set them off, give all the touch points a clean, wipe the surfaces down, etc., to let them do it. And it's best to be done rapidly. If you'd said, Matt, someone's gone home and it's been 3 weeks, well, crack on. The virus is potentially going to die. But I also big advocate, if you say someone came in yesterday, sent them home to isolate while we wait results, our immediate advice is to open the windows, shut the room up if you can, open the windows, get airflow coming and get the virus moving. As Chris Whitty and Patrick Valens have all said, airflow outside is one of the better things. Social distancing, all these sort of things, the basics that people seem to forget.
Is there some sort of a protection you can actually implement prior to reopening, or is it a case of, right, okay, as you've said, the virus is dead, just need to make sure the surfaces are clean, and off you go. We'll come in maybe after the meeting, or
correct.
You can do before.
Correct. There was a company. And it was on the news. It made all the papers that were doing stuff for the transport for London, and they were saying, "No, we can guarantee for 30 days that once you use our product, that you'll be safe." And they had to remove the guarantees. And most of our suppliers now, the chemical suppliers, don't offer a guarantee because they haven't been tested on in a UK lab on COVID. They can only infer a length of time that it'll be protected for, but you can, even if you had a guarantee of 1,000 days, for example, let's just go really out there. If you put that product in, and the next day I walk in, if I've not been tested and you don't know what, and I'm asymptomatic, then all that work you've just put in, it doesn't mean anything. So that's why we come to about fogging. We don't advocate the big fogging machines where people come in. Because you say it's a big venue and you pay a good price for it, and you waste, say, £5,000, just top of my head. Someone comes in who's asymptomatic, that's it wasted.
Yeah.
What's the point? If you've cleaned it with touch points and you've got good airflow and you've got a very, very good cleaning schedule anyway, you will more than likely have combated it than you will have with somebody coming with a machine and throwing stuff around.
That's great advice, because a lot of venues are, obviously are concerned, and they want to do things in the right way. They haven't got a great deal of money to spend right now because they've been closed. So, getting the right advice and the most sensible plan of action obviously is important, which is why an expert like yourself hopefully can help. So how do our venues and event planners get hold of you? Obviously, your website address is on there.
Yeah, you can hit me up on email if you want, or we're on Twitter, LinkedIn, all the wonderful social media channels that are all there.
Yeah.
And our telephone number should be on the website.
Excellent.
I think currently it's a mobile number because we've got a 24/7 call. So especially during COVID, if someone has an outbreak or someone goes, and we've put this in place for people, is that we've got a confirmed case in Manchester or London. We've got people that can be there within 6 hours to deep clean the place, to get you up. And for businesses currently that have been shut, it's all about keeping them open or getting them open as quick as possible. And
definitely.
So that's where we have a mobile number, so that you'll get in touch with myself, Michelle, Bev, Si, one of the team that will be able to help.
No, that's really useful. Like everyone, we just want the industry and in fact the whole of the economy just to get back to normal, and we start meeting people again and having live events, and obviously this has been really interesting to hear your take of it, really. So Matt, thanks very much. It's been great talking to you. Hope everyone watching has enjoyed it and taken something out of it. We wish you well and best of luck going forward.